Oh yeah. Let's keep going. Ooh, yeah. You know what? This is how Bring the Pain's gonna be right now. Look at this. Finally got that in there. Got the mic right here. Don't mind me hitting anything in the background. Got the other mic over here for the podcast. So this is gonna be some real fun stuff. But while we're doing this, I gotta do something. So I got yelled at the other day because I didn't share anything, and I definitely have to go share Bling You Crazy with the wife. Because, she's she was like, yo, you can't do that. This is you're going live too fast. And I'm like, you know what? I was like, we're okay. We got this. So now I have to make sure that I get in there. So while I'm doing that, we're gonna be doing this live episode of Bring the Pain. Ooh, yeah. So this episode right here, we're gonna be talking about Tecmo Super Bowl, 10-yard fight, John Madden football. We're gonna be talking about different systems, different things. This is where really gaming is found. Like you can't you can't hide that gaming is about being competitive right from the go. Okay. And that being said, who could get farther in Mario? Who could get all this stuff? It's about actually making yourself a better gamer so that you could play other games. So, you start out with football or maybe basketball or baseball was predominantly back then, and then you had ice hockey for the Nintendo. So you did have some crazy games. Now that being said, it's one of those things that I'm almost done. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to do it. So, that being said, I wanted to start it off and take it off like that. Like, I played, when I did my other video game podcasts, I talked about, my number one foes, my best buds, my boy Dewan and my boy Brian D, Brian B, Dave. Dave was a big influence too. And you know what? You got to make sure you give DJ Chaos a like and follow him, wherever you can find him at, because, thank you for my intro. Ooh, yeah. 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 So, that being said, you had to think. So, I saw this Tecmo Super Bowl group come up, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool, man. This is cool. I like Tecmo Super Bowl. So I mean, I'm good at it, and I'm about to explain why. So I'm like, all right, get in there, man. Trash talking right away. These people just talking. I'm throwing pixel enlargement. Hey, but nobody knows what's going on. It's crazy. It's fun. It's good. So if you go over to Facebook, Tecmo Super Bowl, get that in there. But okay, so here it goes. Goes back to the Atari before any of my friends really. So we have real sports football, and my dad loved football. So he'd always be the first player because he was older and I was second player. Eventually I was always first player. You know that player ready number one. Yeah, I mean, I'm a jerk. What can I say? I got to be first player. But sometimes the second player was like maybe that was more your stat, like your guy that you might use. So that being said, you wanted to actually get that. So the one thing that I can definitely say is gaming has been a big part of my life because it allowed me to be competitive with my friends and just go all out and have such a great time doing the things that I loved, which was playing video games competitively against. So that being said, my dad, team, and I'm telling you, real sports football, the blue team is better than the red team. Okay, like there's no comparison. It's the blue team's way faster, so I always lost, but eventually I won. I won with that other team, and I told my dad, I was like, if I'm the blue team, I'm gonna win. So then, finally I beat him with the other team. And that's kind of when he stopped playing. So then, there was 10-yard fight and so many other different things that was going on at the time. So that's when you have all those, like eventually Nintendo came out. So then Nintendo comes out and we're like, all right, well, what do you got? Well, I remember walking home from school one day and buddy was like, yo, we're gonna go to my dude John P's house and go play some Tecmo Bowl. I was like, oh, Tecmo Bowl? They were like, they got the real teams in that actually? They were like, yeah. I was like, whoa, okay. Tecmo Bowl. All right. So I get there and I got the fucking Raiders, man. Come on. I'm sorry if you're a Raider fan. I'm not trying to really, shoo you away, but I'm a Raider, okay? So whatever, I used them. And then, I would use San Francisco and it was cool and it was neat. There's plays, but for me it was like I just wanted something more. So but we all played Tecmo Bowl. So we did that. And right about that time, we also started getting to like double dribble. So, in ice hockey for the Nintendo. So you start getting all this like this game, Base Wars. I mean, this game, it was like literally like robots, and if it was like close call, you would fight for it. So you could literally run around if your robot was strong enough and get some runs. And me and my buddies want to play that game all the time too. The same way we always played, Tecmo Bowl. And then it finally came out for all of us. For all of us, it finally came out. Tecmo Super Bowl. There were the Rams. And it was the Rams I loved. Flipper Anderson, Henry Eller, Jim Everett, Kevin Green, so many different players on this team. And what made it good was the Rams. That was my peak. That was when I was like, entering my teen years. So that, and they ranked the Rams really good. They did. They gave the Rams great ratings. Like I was surprised. I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. So, everybody went and checked their teams. The Raider guy checks his Raiders. Of course, Bo and Marcus Allen. He would go put Marcus Allen at receiver. I mean, you had to. He had to get him in there somehow. So then, I had the San Francisco buddy. I had my buddy Dewan. He used Houston and he used Chicago. Chicago he's a Bears fan, straight up Bears fan. So he would always talk and we would always talk and everything like that. So we're playing. We had the Atlanta Falcon fan, so we had the run and shoot getting done. So then we had all sorts of different friends. We had the Cleveland Brown fan, we had the Kansas City Chief fan. We had the Denver Bronco fan. We had all the fans just like all of you, and so we were highly competitive, some of us more than others. We actually started putting money up. And I even lost the one time I was out of money, and I was like, I got nothing. And my dude was like, well, then, hey, why don't you run in the other room and get your dad? Because my dad would get these like Rice Krispie treat packs for free. So like a whole fucking box of them. And he was like, yo, man, just go get 2 of those, man. I know they're 50 cents each, man. He's like, just throw that up for $1. And I'm like, dude, seriously? How are you even going to do that? So anyway, I ended up winning the $1 back, but I gave him the 2 anyway because it was like, what do you do? Like, I can't really do like I do it. So Dewan would really do some funny shit. Like he was my alter ego in shit talking. Like he would just me the way I would dig him. It would be so fucking fun. And again, he is a big reason that, I know about the black culture and everything with his father being a reverend. I've mentioned this many times before about him as well too. But that was it. And it was like, systems and then there's so much to talk about that guy. But a lot of it was gaming. So, me and him get into these dredged out battles. It would be the Giants versus Chicago. And then somehow LT would go excellent by the end of the game and it would piss him off. And then we would play a game and then he would go beat Houston and then he would trounce me. And I'd be like, oh, no, man, screw that. All right, then I go be the Rams shootout and I'd probably win that or sometimes he'd win that. Then he came right back and then I would beat him. And then it was just constant. Then he'd go be the Bills. And one thing we always said too is every time we were Dan Marino, whether it be Tecmo Bowl And whether it be Madden, when you started being able to use the year teams, and even in the current teams, anytime anybody, I swear to God, anytime anybody took Dan Marino, led Miami Dolphin team, he got hurt. It's literally first fucking play. He just passed. Do. Come on, man. Like, seriously, you can't do that, man. That kills it. Kills it, man. So, that being said, we go back to the whole little thing right here, right? It's Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Super Bowl. So, we start doing seasons with my friends. I mean, 3-4 of us, Saturday afternoon, sitting around, going a whole season. We would all play our games. We reduced the minutes so that we would get through the games faster, because sometimes it would be like me, would do Bob, and then my dude Brian, and we'd just be there on Saturday. And then sometimes my brother would play, but he didn't really play sport games. So anyway, we keep going on, and it's like, we just love this game. So then, Super Nintendo comes out. So some Tecmo Super Bowl games come out. Right about this time, me and Dwan are like kind of done with Tecmo Magic, because, like, we did the whole pixel enlargement, which if you've never heard about pixel enlargements, you got to, at one opportune point when you feel like you might know something, you got to go as close to the TV as possible when you're hitting pass, where you're hitting somebody, like hit the good old dive. You can tell the dive. Like, he starts, he pauses for a second, he goes, and it goes, and the next thing you know, boom. And that can be the worst thing ever. Tecmo is cheesy. There's a lot of like nose tackle things, and of course, like LT's always in the backfield. Like my buddy Dwan said it best. He goes, he's like, he literally just camps in the backfield on every fucking kick I take, every field goal I take. I can't even freaking wait for it to come back down, because I know that he's already diving. I know that your ass is already diving on me, because I put the burn. Oh yeah. So that being said, it was like pure goodness, pure things just like happening. And then so like, sometimes I would get a little better. I would be playing a season. So, you play the season. Well, if during that season, say LT was on excellent, he would know. He was like, "You're playing the season again, Rob. I told you I'm gonna come delete your season." Because he was like, he called me out. He goes, you fast forward the season so you have like Otis Meathead Anderson and LT on excellent, don't you? I did a couple times, not all the time, because I didn't want to play a season. And sometimes he'd come over. We were boys. Like, all my friends would just come over, because a lot of other people's parents and stuff, they would be doing their things, working late nights. My mom was always home, so that was just right there. And then my dad would be home by like 3-4, and then he would go leave to go do some cleaning and some janitor shit. So, and my mom would always have so much supper. So, like, anybody, my friends come over, a lot of my friends would tell you that my mom fed them. God rest her soul. She's amazing. Dude, y'all don't know about no 2 a.m. cheeseburgers. Fucking come in with a whole plate of cheeseburgers. And we would just eat them all. My brother would eat like 10. Tommy just 8. And so you get back to Tecmo Bowl, and now me and Devon are like, yo, and he goes, and sports talk football and all that too. But we didn't have Genesis, guys, Nintendo guys. So finally, Nintendo finally got Madden. And Madden 93, we get it. And we just start playing it. And it's got some year teams. So, we start talking, and we're like, all right. So we play a lot. And then he goes over to somebody else. And the Genesis version was better. Plus, they released a championship edition later that year. Was just stoked. So then Madden 94 comes out straight up right there. Dasher game. For the Super Nintendo, it was so fast. It had my Dickerson Rams. It had my 79 Rams. I was in heaven. And that's what video gaming is all about, is when you're doing some great things and having good times with your friends, that's where some of my gambling in my life started, but whatever. It's never really controlled me as a person. So I think that being said, that says a lot. So the thing is get into Madden 94, and we're just constantly playing everything. Marino's still getting hurt. And, like I would go up, like I remember, like I would take the regular Cowboys. The Cowboys were stacked that year, right? So then he got pissed at me because the one day I would take Cowboys, and every time I was like Michael Irving, I would go push this dude out of the way. He's like, it's fucking bullshit. And if I didn't like push back, he'd push back, right? He'd get past interference, and he'd be so fucking angry. My dad used to tell me stories about like me and him just playing games late night, just gambling, fucking losing, and having some crazy fucking times, man. But that's what gaming is about. Again, when people say gaming was bad for you, no, man, we kept us home. It kept all my friends around me. Have fun. That's all the times that all of you had fun with all of your friends. So, you get mad in 94. And you know what? Right around that time, I got me a Panasonic 3DO. So I actually got the John Madden football for the 3DO, which was bigger and badder. It had these really cool, like if you went into your change your team around. So Bettis was like, see, when Bettis got into the Madden game, he was kind of crappy. The updated one for the 3DO, Bettis was good. So me and DeWan just moved to the next game. So meanwhile, my other friends were still playing Tecmo because they really didn't like that Madden sort of game yet. And that really was a lot of downfall for people. So, we're playing Madden. Yeah, I'm like, yo, this shit is good. So me and him had been getting into some arguments. Of course, we played Tecmo NBA. I remember one time, lo and behold, one time. So in Tecmo NBA, right, you get that when you shoot a 3-pointer, it always goes in, right? So Dwayne, he started getting cheesy. He started going down every time I shoot a 3-pointer because he had Michael Jordan because it was Lakers versus Bulls. He would go down there and he would always try to goaltend. So he would just goaltend it, right? And I was like, dude, stop goaltending. He's like, no, one time, Rob. One time I'm gonna get that. And I'm like, dude, you can't get it. That's fucking bullshit, dude. There's no way. It's a goaltend. You go down and you're fucking grabbing or hitting the ball out of there. It's a goaltend. You're way down there. You're nowhere near me. And so he's like, no, fuck that. So comes this game, right? I'm down by 2, and I go running down the thing. I got Magic Johnson, right? And I just pull up, and he's seen that cinema scene. He was like, and this was for marbles, man. We threw down like 20 this game. For a couple of 14, 15, 13-year-olds, man, $20 for a game, that's crazy, right? But me and DeWan always did feel bad. Like, there was always that brother camaraderie. A lot of times it would end up being like somebody made a little more or somebody didn't make a little more or somebody would get it back. So it was really like a 50-50 between me and him because we had the same play style. We played each other the same way, very dominant against each other that way. And anytime we took this against anybody else, they couldn't keep up the speed. That's a lot of reason why my friends already knew me and DeWan were already too far into it, so they didn't want to play us. They actually came all around at Madden 98. That's when my boy Craig, my boy Brian D, all them, they got into that. And I'll actually say, I was into like computer Maddens during that time. Sorry about that. I was into computer Maddens around that time. And I played, was it Madden 2000 for the computer? It was just, I swear to God, it was one of the best games ever. And I'm going to tell you what, too. Madden 99 for the Nintendo 64. You will love that game, man. That's some really cool fun. It's the fun Madden, So these are fun Madden. So during this year, Maddens are kind of falling off. Bam, NFL 2K, which is what I think is one of the big holy grails. I mean, we're not about super play action football. I mean, that game was good. It had that like kind of diagonal kind of view, and then you kind of just passing was weird. But hey, it was all right if you wanted to play a game. And then the college games. Can't forget about them, the NCAAs. Me and my friends, man. I mean, that's when we kind of got into the college games. Was the late, it's like the '97s, because that's when I could have because I was always Penn State. We used like Notre Dame, and my buddy he'd go use like Florida State or something like that. But he knew that, so right about 2001, my friends had started playing a little more. And DeWan joined the Marines at the time. So, again, thank you for your service, brother, man. And by doing that, like the last game, I'll say that me and him beat together was Mario 64. We did the entire 120, is it? Yeah. Did the 120 in one night. You just smoked black and mild, fan on, window open, 6 hours, 7 hours of just gaming, me and him, cheeseburgers, and we beat that game. And then he went on that. But anyway, back to it. So, like, my boy Brian D, my brother at this time, and this is like No Mercy time. This is like Golden Eye time and stuff like that. So kind of football gaming kind of died down, but then NFL 2K, that Dreamcast, man, and then NBA 2K, bam, that was it. We were locked into both those games. And that was cheesy. They used to get really freaking pissed because it was kind of arcadish. And y'all know what I'm talking about with it, with the whole NFL 2K. You could do that charge up movie. If you just had Marshall Faulk, you just charged him up and you just did a dance at the right, like it would create like a fake bubble, and my friends were getting pissed. But then they would do some cheesy shit too. They would go option to like a pump formation, then they would come out with a pump formation with their players and shit. My team would just react to it, and I couldn't pull them out of it in time, and then you would just get stuck, and there's nothing you could do except burn a timeout, or if you didn't buy a timeout, you had to just play the ball. So NFL 2K1 really was one of my better years too, because after that, the Rams Super Bowl years. So, the Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Tony Holt, just unstoppable. Defense was good because it didn't matter if the defense got scorched during those years when we got like Aeneas Williams. That was still somebody good that in a game like that we could actually play hard. So that's the one thing that you always gotta remember is that to me it's one of those things that you wanna savor and kind of like always remember, because you play with your boys, you play in all these games. So, and give props out to that Panasonic John Madden football. If you never played that, go check that out. And go in to check your thing, change your players, right? And up in the corner, it says like hit C for highlights of your teams. And this cheesy, like almost soccer kind of guy comes on and like reads these crazy things. And he's like, he will not be denied. So that being said, back to it, you're getting all that. Bam. Brother-in-law gets into this world right now. And now Madden 03 come out, Madden 04 come out. Bam. You get to start playing. 05 and 06, which is, I think, really just the best Madden game. I mean, me and him literally got in a lot of trouble for literally playing that every weekend we played Madden 05 and 06. And, his wife, Erin, and, of course, my wife, Chrissy Ray, literally you guys been playing Madden for 3 years for every weekend. But that was something me and my friends did. Golden Eyes on Tuesdays, Super Mario Kart 64, Mortal Kombat, but it was Golden Eye on Sunday nights. Tuesday nights was always the No Mercy night. And, and like I said, but I lived with some of my friends, like my boy Brian D, my brother. So me and my brother and Brian, all we did was just play Mario Kart 64. All we did. We all played it all the time. And we lived there. We had nothing. We would just go work the shift. My brother would come and deliver with me. We'd come home and we just 18 hours, be off all day. Doing the crazy things, man. So we have it. But me and my boy Josh, man, he rekindled me. He kept me warm with all these because all my friends kind of started doing their own things. And that's when he kind of did it. So, man, Madden 06, and of course, 07 and 08, that's kind of like just play them. You get into other things during those times. Even this time, I remember this game. It was this card game. It was called Red Zone. It was supposed to be like Magic the Gathering. And I went and bought a whole bunch of packs for it. I still have the shit, and I got so you play your teams down, and then you would play your cards. And then if you play your cards against another opponent, and if, something happened, you get an interception. And if it happened, you flip a card and it could be a touchdown or a 10-yard gain or an 18-yard gain. The better the card, the better. And the better player, the better the card, the better the card. It just really worked out. It was really cool. And I got a starter pack and a few extra packs, and then it just went away. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can find one. So, we're talking about all these things. And you can't forget about the current Maddens. Right now, they're so realistic. So realistic the current Maddens are right now. That's not what everybody wants sometimes. I wouldn't mind sitting up with my dude Josh and just sitting down and just playing a game of Madden '06. You know, Will Witherspoon. You guys got no idea, man. Hit stick, fumble, Will Witherspoon, interception. He had the arm sleeves, freaking making me wear the arm sleeves now. I'm going to eat override. Yeah. It was like, yo, this whole thing was it's always been good to play video game football. Started with my dad, continued with my boys, just continued with my other boys. You know, Dave, John P, John Z didn't really get into that stuff. Brian B, you know, he's a Pittsburgh fan. And it was Bubby Brister, Eric Green days, you know. And he didn't really care much for those games. And you know, Bob Stroop and him always taking the Niners. Nobody else. It just was good times. Good times. And it all comes down like you gotta understand it was a long time for like people who had Nintendo and didn't really have a Genesis and a Sega Genesis, even with those Madden footballs and like when the computer was coming out with Madden footballs. We just had Tecmo Super Bowl. That's all we did. That's why literally it's still relevant to this day. They make updates for it every year. They just made a gold edition where it's like the greatest players on all their teams all the time. Yo, I got a Nintendo upstairs. That's why I'm the god of gaming. Like I don't care. Like half these people think that you have no. If you had a good resume, bring it. Like seriously, I do too. Yo, the same dude. Me and my boy Dewan beat Battletoads. I break that. Go check out my video game podcast. Yeah, I talk shit. That's what makes me a jerk. But I make you better, and you make me better, and that's what gaming's about. Gaming with your boy, having some beers. You know, all night. You got a day off. They got a day off. Man, you just play games till 7 a.m. Now it's taking people home. Sun was killing my eyes, man. And, you know, I had stopped drinking it at that point. It's crazy. But that's what gaming is about. Gaming is about those things in life. And Tecmo Super Bowl and that group kind of is renewing that for me. But before that, there was a man named Joshua. He did. Toys Lockport, New York. Go check him out on Facebook. Dude, sell you anything. He's got a great toy store, setting up an arcade, setting up a video game history thing. He's got it all. He's buying all these pieces. He's doing it for all of you. He keeps his prices low. He's a good dude. He ships super fucking fast. But check out Toys from Low, you know, and at the same time, think about this. We have so many options right now. And so many people are so sad because of, you know, the current thing. I'm not going to say it during this episode. Not going to say it. Told you positive episodes going straight forward. That shit's gone. No more. See? Can't do it. Oh, yeah. So, that being said, it's like it comes down to this whole little thing. Camaraderie. Getting that. I want that technical Super Bowl. I want that. I mean, I don't know if anybody will play with me. I might just play a season alone and just post my pictures like they do. But guys gotta check me out on Twitch too. I have a lot of gaming right now that I have all this set up right here. I'm gonna have some gaming coming on, and you know I will show you why I'm the god of gaming, and I'll also show you my shit talking too. I'm pretty fucking good at it, but. Hey, sometimes, man, people just fuck up, and it's just like, come on, dude, you're just sitting there, we're losing, or, you know, you get it. But, you know what? There's always that one little time in the episode when it's time for He's That Make Me a Jerk! Oh, yeah! That's right! We're doing it good! It's going to be so nice to know that we're doing things that make me a jerk right now. Because I'm a gamer and I'm a jerk and I talk shit. And I'll talk shit to you. If I don't know you, I'll talk shit to you. You can come find me on the PS4. Heat Override, 2 zeros, 1 R. You got it. You can reword this channel that you're at. You know, you got it right there. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. More. Come get it. Go get it right there. I got nothing to hide. I played all the games. But you know what? Even if you just go to my Twitch right now, I just set all that up on the computer. I got Titan Quest on there. Dude, that's what I do. I'm gonna play Diablo. I'm gonna play Madden. I'm gonna play FIFA. I'm gonna play all the games and I'm gonna get good at them. But what I'm getting in right now is a lot of Modern Warfare, so you'll see that on there. So follow me at Twitch, Heat Override, and go to my Spreaker and look up Bring the Pain and find me, Heat Override, and follow me there. That's where my actual podcast comes from, and that's where all this gets to go. So that's what it's about, man. And that's what we're trying to get things. So let's get to it. Things that make me a jerk. Oh, yeah. Yo, number one, you're a jerk. Damn a jerk if you talk shit. Yeah, I know. Not everybody likes a shit talker, though. And I've seen some fights go down. But I will say I'm a fucking jerk. I've got punched in the mouth for some shit that I pulled in a video game. One time, I mean, I got some shit pulled too. Like one time, I told you about my boy Juan. Dude, I got that cinema scene, right? Tecmo NBA. He ran down there. He got the cinema scene for the block. How the fuck you get the right? So he blocked it, and I'm like, goal 10, game 1. It was like, bloop, he won. Fucking mad. So, but I've been my little thing. So I exploited, the Marshall Falk. If you charge him up in the NFL 2K series and you would do that juke, it would create that bubble. More so it happened in 2K, the original 2K, when Marshall wasn't yet jacked, but he was still really good. His agility was good, though. So when you charged it up and you just hit juke, just people would fall. Tecmo Bowl, yeah. I mean, other than the times I did forward my season, it was Taylor, but it was more than that. It was also like me and my buddy Dewan also developed a thing. And I was telling this group the other day, yo, when you got out, me and Dewan got so good, we would go in, we would hit the quarterback and then go after the running back. That became us. Like all you people are like, oh, just go in and tackle him, go hit him up, go mess it up, don't do that. No, we were a 2-point team, right? The minute that play down, we always hit the quarterback because if you motherfucking pull a flea flicker on us, your ass was toast. We're picking that ball the fuck up and we're winning, scoring a fucking touchdown because we were ruthless. We always hit the quarterback. We always get the running back. Even if you were a little behind, that was fine to give up those yards. You guys got to understand, just giving up yards. There ain't no way. Like I see these games, it's great to see the people doing their things with the, against the computer, but the computer is shitty. Sometimes they kind of come at you and you can take a shitty team and make it real aggressive. But dude, take it to a person, a whole nother level. And I mean, we met one time in Madden, right? Dude, I would always run around trying to run the timeout at the end of the game, right? So Dewan pulled close to me, a little jerk move and shit. I was fucking being a little and shit, right? It's like I came out, right? And he's like, what are these dogs? You're going to get it, right? And he was right. Pixel enlargement, he was right. I went and dove on the ground, and it fucking fumbled. It fucking fumbled, and he picked up the game-winning touchdown in the end zone. Sometimes being a jerk ain't fun. Things that make us a jerk. Sometimes people spend rent money on buying new video games. Things that make us a jerk. Sometimes people buy crate boxes. When you go back and check my crates, the episode, the mini override took it over, right? But that shows why games like that are so addicting because you ain't good. And that's another thing that I got out of Madden for because all those cards got involved now. Now people just going on, they want to ultimate team. You're not the ultimate warrior. Because you're not. You're not. You just take a game straight up. If I hate playing over the internet because I'm a timing person. So I'm like I'll hit back, hit that, pump fake this, do that, bam, hit that person. If somebody comes in, got some big rush, I'll do that. I'll go out to my checkout, right? So how I play quarterback in Madden, that's how it's going to be. It's going to be cool like that. You do some damn lag and shit, I'm done. Can't do that shit. That's why I don't know why gaming is shitty sometimes. Like, just recently on Madden, even just recent, I was playing the latest one. I was killing this dude. He fucking quits. It's like, damn, now you my stat up, and we all know about when people would jiggle the thing in the back. Gaming fucking jerk. Things that make you a jerk. You wiggle the DSL cord and shit, and then the other person gets lost. Like, Yo, he was disconnected. I was fine. My shit, I didn't go wiggle my shit. How does the person that wiggles his shit gets the win? Bro, there's no reason. So you gotta understand when a lot of these things happening. I mean, Tecmo NBA play. I mean, me and Josh, those weekends we would do franchise, and we would make our own franchise, and then we would run it each, and we did an AFC and NFC team. And that's how we did it. And we would meet in the Super Bowl. And sometimes we didn't meet. So the rule was we always played the camp. We looked at the rookies. We worked out our rookies. We did all the training camp, and we did that, right? And then if we played each other during that season, we would play that game. And at any time during the season, if we needed to play a game, we would play that game, right? Because we like if he had a game, we just play together. So like in the playoffs, when he was playing a team, because he was in the other, he was in the AFC, and I was in the NFC. He was playing a game. We would both play on the same team, and then he would come over to my team, and then he would go over to his team, and then he would it was just really fucking cool. So over those 2 years, and we pissed some other people that we used to play off because me and Josh were so good. Like if you played with me, Josh, sometimes we just wouldn't even throw you the ball because you didn't know what you were doing. So I would just throw where I knew what was going. Josh knew what I was doing because he was like DeJuan, and that's how it is. That's how gamers are, man. We're jerks. But at the same time, that's camaraderie. And all those times, man, you have no idea, man. Like some of the legendary players, man. I had this dude called Briggs. He came with a freaking arm wrap and a fucking ankle fucking brace, right? And he hit like a fucking tank. He was a rookie and he was a linebacker, and he had like a sick insane speed. So he was like an 88 speed from the goal, and that was like mega crazy for linebacker. That was like just crazy. That was like Derek Johnson fast, like at that time. And he just hit like a truck. And it was weird too, because there was times that because we would go like 30-year franchises just drafting, doing all this stuff. We would make trades. We would always get up into the top 3 or 4 picks, at least up into there. We didn't overrule shit. We played it straight up because we were still playing against each other. And then we would end up, playing through the playoffs, and all those Super Bowls were so fun. I mean, man, we literally, the one Super Bowl is probably the hardest fought Super Bowl. I swear it was like 13-9. He didn't score. I scored. It was 13-9, like against boys in Madden 06, 13-9. It was because my quarterback was actually just because when you would draft a quarterback, they would just be shitty. So there was always that kind of not so good. So Joshua was fast quarterbacks that could run around like Cam Newton and shit, and he would develop their arms and make them really good. Well, I had this dude called Alderman. Dude, he was like the next Montana. He was like, even when we didn't play these games, these guys, we didn't have to play. We simulated a lot of the games during the seasons, of course, because our teams were so good we'd make the playoffs. And if someone didn't make the playoffs, we would just do it. But sometimes things happen. And career-end injuries, that would happen, and we would just be like, what the fuck? So what I'm talking about is what football games have done for people. The video game market for football has always been great until, of course, EA took over the NFL. But people give that up. They still have Tecmo, and that is what it's about. And you still have all those other games like Madden. I still got that, my 3DO, and I can go play that John Madden football. I can go watch those cheesy videos because that's what it's about. And that is why so many things can happen. That's it, team. I think that we've had a great episode. I think I've talked about all the things I wanted to cover and just being competitive in football games, spending time with your friends. And probably a reason why that maybe my friends and I were considered nerds because we played a lot of role-playing games and stuff like that too. I'll have those podcasts coming up as well. But football gaming led to hockey, led to the Kings versus the Blackhawks, led to, the New York Rangers. I found the New York Rangers, and Hugo used the Dallas Stars, the one that is. The Lakers versus Bulls. I had other friends. I had my one buddy, Brian. He was a huge Kevin Garnett fan, so there's always like Timberwolves. My one buddy, Crick, it was a Philly fan, so it was Iverson. It was there's so many friends, so many teams, so many stories, so many games, so many cheesy moments, so many angers, so many times. I mean, my brother, to end this out, my brother had his greatest win, NBA 2K, right? So he used the Knicks, and I had Shaq and Kobe. Now, Shaq and Kobe were good. I could play with the Lakers good. Well, he started playing, and Crick and Brian started coaching him. Well, he went and created this guy, Big Mac Attack. So he put him on the Knicks. So Green Mac Attack, Latrell. He had everybody, right? So he was moving his things out. So I was like a superstar. He never beat me at a sports game, and I was up by 2 points. And I messed up on it was Shaq. He fouled him. So he made his guy like as tall as he'd be, like 78. He made him like super wide. So it was like this, but then he made him like a light guy. So he would just go running down. Like he was all 99s. So it was his only shot. He inbounds the ball, shoots the ball 75% of the court, and it goes in to beat me. And I've never seen a fat man move that fast in my entire life. I swear to God. He literally belly flopped onto the ground. He ran upstairs where Crick was sleeping in upstairs, and he goes, I beat him. And he came down, and I was like, I watched the whole thing. And of course, we ran it back, and I beat him. But I was a jerk because Tommy knew I was going to beat him that second time because I was going to be dialed in. I wasn't dialed in that first game. But honestly, not everybody has to be great at sports. But if you have a moment like that, why don't you post it down below? Go like and follow me on Twitter at Bring the Pain #8 because the infinity sign, because that's what I say, and keep everything going. Go on my Facebook, Bring the Pain. I post a lot of my things on right there. But most of my things also follow through at Heat Override with 10. That's just the way it is on Twitter. You can find me there. But check out my Patreon. This video is exclusive on Patreon, and I'm going to post the audio version of my podcast in a moment. But the night ain't over yet. I'm going on Flying Casual. So catch me over on that show when they release it, because that's how it's going to go. And with that being said, always remember to bring the pain. Oh, yeah. Catch me on my channels, man, people. I'm coming for you. Gonna keep it going. You guys don't even know. Woo! Oh, yeah. That's the way.